All right, welcome back for day 24 of the 66-day challenge on how to have a productive business and real estate. Today's going to be a fun topic, one of my favorites. Don't be addicted to chaos, okay? So there is a difference between total chaos, controlled chaos, and no chaos whatsoever. This, as a team lead, as a coach, as a mentor, as someone who's successful, this is where you want to be. It's not that you don't care. It doesn't have a place in your time frame business wise to be in there. So what I'm trying to get at is if I'm working and we're trying to lead generate, are we talking about the Phillies win? Are we talking about the Phillies loss? Are we announcers? Are we coaches? What we come up with, is that going to affect the Phillies, let alone our business? No. So this is stuff that needs to be out of your business. And you can relate to other things that are going on right now in the news. That's why I really don't watch the news. I maybe watch like 30 minutes just to keep what's going on at the headlines. But people do this all the time. And you could see it on social media pages. Believe it or not, our industry, real estate-wise, commercial, residential, there are sites that are devoted to failure, to nightmares, to electrical outlets being placed in the shower. It's funny. I get it. But there's no place for that in our business. There's no place for that in a productive business. Okay? Same thing with the people who worry about the littlest thing, who take a molehill and turn it into a mountain. My deal is falling apart. Your deal's going to be fine. You have to take yourself out of the emotion. Be solution-based. What's wrong with your deal? Identify what is wrong with your deal. Why is it falling apart? They co-signed a loan. Okay, they co-signed a loan and it changed their DTI. So what are the solutions? I don't know. Well, why don't you talk to the people in that department? Why don't you talk to the underwriter? Why don't you talk to the mortgage company? Why don't you talk to a second mortgage company who has gone through this and maybe get their answer? So now you have three options. So you as a professional need to see which is the best option to get you to closing. There's always an answer for something. You have to be solution-based, okay? And this is what's going to identify what chaos is. Is it full chaos? Is it controlled? Or can I eliminate it, give it to somebody else who can handle it a lot better and a lot faster than I can, so I can do other things? Okay? What is an average chaos? Chaos is anything that disrupts your normal plan. So if you go back to day 1 to day 10, and your schedule, your time blocking, and you have that, hey, at 5:30 to 6:30, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to sit in a hot tub. I'm going to listen to audiobooks. I'm going to say affirmations. And then I'm going to hit the gym for the next hour. And then I'm going to get a shower. I'm going to grab something to eat. I'm going to start my lead generation. I'm going to communicate with my team, go back to my lead generation, go into follow-up, and then in the afternoon, I got my appointments. But let's say everybody's in the office and something happened, whether it was the issue that happened with the Titanic, with the boat that was going down there, or what's going on in the political world, what's going on in the sports world. These are items, don't get me wrong, they're important. Like the team that's going to win the World Series, or the person that's got hurt and it needs surgery is going to be out for the year. That's important to them. The people that lost their lives that were going to view the sunken Titanic, that was about 5 to 6 lives that were lost. That's tragic for them. And not to sound shallow or anything, you have no control over. These are situations you have no control over whatsoever. None. You have no control over what happened with that sub. You have no control over that team winning the pennant. You have no control over what goes on with the Republican or Democrat committee. So why is that playing a part in your daily role of lead generating or what you're supposed to be doing that day? If you want to talk about it, schedule a time for it. Let's go to happy hour when we're all done work. Let's all talk about it. That's fine. But just keep in mind that you have no control over that. None. So that to me is chaos. Anything that does not affect the growth of my family, the growth of my business, the growth of my agents, that to me is chaos. I don't need that. Put that off to the side. Now, if there is something I'm doing, like a transaction, and something were to happen, let's say the transaction coordinator calls you, or your showing agent calls you, or your buyer specialist and say, Mike, 123 Main Street, it's going to die. All right. Well, first of all, let's be solution based. It's not going to die. We're going to get it together. Identify what the problem is. This exercise is called a 131. If you're unfamiliar with a 131, please get the book Buy Back Your Time. Okay? A 131 is, first of all, we're going to identify that problem. Buyer can't get a loan because they co-signed and it changed their debt to income ratios. So the mortgage company says, nope, can't do it. Okay, great. What are the solutions? We know the problem. What are the solutions? Well, how can we get them to settlement? Well, Mike, we were supposed to go to settlement next week. There's no way it's going to happen. No, I don't want to hear that. How are we getting the settlement? How are we buying them the property? Mike, we need at least 30 days. Okay, so you're telling me we need 30 days for this to clear, and then we can go to settlement. Well, yeah. Okay, that's option one. What's option two? Well, Mike, they have to cancel the loan. Oh, okay, great. So we cancel the loan and get a letter from the place saying that, hey, yeah, it's been removed. What's the third option? Well, Mike, they're going to have to put more money down. How much more money? They're going to have to put down $15,000 more. Okay, great. Option three. So then you're going to review all three of these options. Now, I'm going to put a little bookmark on that. You just don't have to talk to your staff and that current loan officer. You can go to another loan officer who you've done business with or has had an issue with that same issue that you have. What were their solutions? Can that work into your equation? But what I'm getting at, we have the problem. That was one. The three possible options. And then the last one is the one we're going to pick. So when we have the buyers together, when we have the loan officer together or the underwriter, and we have the listing agent or the other co-op, and maybe their client, we're all working to see what's going to happen. Hey, Steve, can we extend settlement 30 days? That's an option. Can we do a rent back? Okay, great. I'll pass that off. Buyers, can you come up with $15,000? Oh, no, I can't. Is there any family members that have $15,000 that can lend you or grant you? Yeah, I do. Oh, that's an option then. And then the other one, can we cancel this deal? No, we can't do that. We're co-signing. They're already, they've already taken advantage of it. Okay, so option 2's out, but option 1 and 3. So which one is the best? Which one do we want to go with? And then you pick it and you move on. That is eliminating chaos. Okay, so if you're going to be somewhere, you want to be in the borderline of at the end of the control chaos to no chaos compared to always in control chaos and being in chaos. If you're always in chaos, and there are people like that, they complain. The streets could be paved with gold, and they would complain about how bright and shiny it is and how slippery it is. You want to stay away from that. That you want to eliminate 100%. I know agents and I know people that live in a controlled chaos. They'll come home, their house is a mess. Their desk is all disheveled, but they know where everything's at. They know where the important stuff is at. But stress-wise, do you really want to live in that environment daily, weekly, monthly? Is this what your plan is, Or do you want to live that life where I'm getting up at 5:30 every morning, I'm meditating for about 45 minutes to an hour, whether it's in a hot tub, a sauna, outside, smoking a cigar, whatever. And then the next hour after that is when I'm working out, I'm building up my health. And then I take my shower, have a nice healthy breakfast, and start my day at 9 o'clock and do my lead generation, do my meetings, and go on my appointments, and I'm done. Now I have family time. I think I want that one. That's the one I want. But everybody's different. Some people need that controlled chaos. Some people need that 14 cups a day and coffee. Some people need that attention to throw stuff on social media that actually is hurting your industry. Why would somebody want to put something negative about your industry on social media so everybody can see? Number one, they're going to see your value is definitely lower. It's definitely, you don't compare to a doctor. You don't compare to a dentist. Really? Really? Because the last person I put in a house, they had to sell their house, and now they're going to be living in this house probably for the next 10 years. So when somebody's making a decision that's going to determine what their next 10 years are, I think that's a pretty important profession. I would love to see more posts on success stories out there with no chaos. I'm not talking about the awards. Hey, look at this. I got 25 awards. No, I want to hear the stories. And we talked about this before, about your story and why you're doing what you're doing in your videos. So at the end of the day, don't be addicted to chaos. It's fun. It's funny. You see the TV shows, but it's really hurting your industry. And indirectly, people are remembering this when they're calling you. Maybe not because they saw a video from somebody else, but when they're buying a house from you, they're thinking of those weird stories. It's funny to laugh at, but you want to protect the value of your industry. Okay? Thanks again. If you have any questions on real estate, mortgages, titles, even coaching, please reach out to the Mike Fitzpatrick team at 267-549-2505 and stay away from chaos. All right. Talk to you later.